What is going on, everyone? And welcome to the Sports Talk on Tap podcast. Here on our channel, you can find videos on Monday through Friday with covering all the different major league sports teams, baseball, football, hockey, all the good stuff, basketball. I'm Jake. That's Nick, two co-hosts. And today in our NBA segment, with the NBA Finals starting tomorrow, the wait is almost over. I know, especially for you, Nick, as a Celtics fan, must be anxious. But in honor of that, we're going to do a tier list where we rank every Finals since 2010. I think it's only fair to see what our expectations are as we approach where we are tomorrow.
All right.
So 2010, the first Finals we'll be covering. This one's going to be hard to beat. I know. Lakers, Celtics. It was a classic battle back and forth. Went to a 7-game series. That alone, 7 games alone, makes it at least an A tier. I know, Nick, you know, if the Celtics won, it probably would have been S. But, you know, the special thing was in Game 7, Kobe didn't shoot that great. But, you know, they just found a way. Paul Pierce kind of struggled. Overall, though, it was a great series back and forth, really. I mean, when you look back at these games and how quickly the NBA has changed, Game 7 ended with an 80-79 score. That is, like, unthinkable, like, you know, to imagine in today's league. 7-game series, though, I mean, was really good. Don't know if it was quite the best, but we'll see, because as we make a rule with our tier list, S is for that one best, and maybe we'll put that eventually going through. Next one was probably one of the most infamous upsets in the NBA Finals in recent memory. This was when LeBron James joined the Miami Heat their first year. They make it out of the Eastern Conference Finals pretty easily. And the Dallas Mavericks, who were pretty much an underdog the whole way there, pulled off the upset. He went up 2-1 the series, but Dallas went on to rattle 3 straight. Dirk gets his 1 championship, led by Rick Carlisle's squad. LeBron James infamously struggled in the series. Tyson Chandler, I remember being such a beast in the series for the Mavericks. Overall, though, this was a good series. I'd go B. I mean, I thought it was good for 4-2. But overall, you know, Dallas took business. They played grittier, tougher, and this was really a wake-up call for Miami.
Yep.
Yeah. Next one. I mean, if this was peak for peak, this was still an exciting matchup. You had the Heat basically on a revenge tour, pissed off. They knew they were going to win it. Facing an up-and-coming Thunder team led by Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden in his rookie year, I believe it was, or really early on in his career. The series was only 4-1. OKC won the first one, close Game 2. Then Miami rattled off their home wins and ended up winning in 5, so winning 4 in a row to end the series. I think just by names alone, it was very interesting. But as like for a finals, when it's kind of 4-1
in 5 games, and not like a
yeah, I'd go C though. It wasn't like, you know, your casual. Like a lot of the games were close. Like in their losses, like Game 2, 100-96, 85-91, 98-104. So besides Game 5, all their losses were like by 6 points. So it basically was like Timberwolves Mavericks edition. Yeah, so maybe C. I could even argue low B, but we'll keep it in C for now. Next one. This may be the S tier finals. Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, Part 1. The Ray Allen Game 6 3-pointer. Game 7 comes right down to the wire. This was just a battle of 2 juggernauts that would meet in the end. But in the end, Miami just had a little bit more in them. Tim Duncan was still, you know, playing amazing basketball. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard. The Heat came off just a brutal 7-game series against Paul George's Pacers. And then at this time, the Spurs were kind of sweeping their way. You didn't really know who was going to win, despite, you know, Miami having 66 wins in the regular season. For me, though, might be because that iconic shot is probably the most iconic final shot we've seen in a while with Ray Allen. Obviously, Boston Celtics legend, but Miami Heat legend year in his own right.
So do you want to put it in S? Because I mean, there's another one I haven't asked, but this might. It's up to
Oh
you.
wait, oh yeah, I kind of overlooked that. I know which one I assume you're talking about. For now, let's put it high A. That
Okay.
I think this is the best one we've covered so far, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Next one, can't say the same. I think this was a C tier finals. Spurs, Heat next. Dwayne Wade kind of noticeably regressed this season, and the Spurs were just on a mission. Kawhi Leonard winning Finals MVP. They were just ready this time. It was a quick 5 games. Spurs were just the better team. Obviously, you still had highlights with LeBron, but that was kind of the tipping for Miami. And then after that, they left all their juice out there to win that one. They got back, but the Spurs were just ready this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their last one with Tim Duncan. Next one. So this is, I believe, was it? So LeBron leaves Miami, and then is this where we get the Warriors?
This is Warriors. First Cavs Warriors, where Warriors won it.
All right, yeah. So first Cavs Warriors. This one was interesting because you had
I'm not
an up-and-coming Curry, a LeBron. I would say this is a B tier because what the thing is it was still I believe Cleveland went up 2-1, but then this is the infamous Andre Iguodala switches on to LeBron. And that kind of changes things. Steph Curry still should have won Finals MVP. In my opinion, was still the best player for the Golden State Warriors. But, it was unfortunate for the Cavs. No Kyrie this series. Kevin Love was banged up. So LeBron was kind of just trying to carry the team. It was still, a good series, but this was just the start of the Warriors for something special.
I'm taking a look at, I just have, every year the finals pulled up, and, it shows their, the standings for each conference.
Yeah.
And the West that year was just absolutely loaded. I mean, the Thunder went 45-37, missed the playoffs. Meanwhile, the East, the Nets went 38-44, and they were the 8 seed.
Yeah, I mean, it's felt weird. It's always felt like the West has just been always deeper than the East for some reason.
The Celtics were 40-42 and were a 7 seed.
Yeah. Who did they play in that first round?
They played the Cavs because the Cavs were the 2 seed. I do remember that series. I do remember that.
Cavs probably swept, right?
It was either in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It was
that's
Isaiah Thomas breakout. It was pre-Isaiah Thomas breakout.
Only fair, though, if you have a losing record, make the playoffs, you might as well play arguably the best team. For me, though, the next one, this may be the S tier, obviously, the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. LeBron James, the chase down block, the 3-1 comeback. I mean, what else can you say about this?
It's it's one of the most memorable basketball series of all time. 2016 was just loaded with sport. We were so spoiled in 2016 with just sports in general. All sports.
Yeah. I think people forget the Warriors actually came back from a 3-1 deficit against Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Yep. And that felt like destiny. They went up 2-0, 3-1. Then Draymond suspension happens for Game 5. Steph Curry throws his mouth guard in Game 6. All comes down to that Game 7. The Kyrie shot. Curry kind of selling Game 7. Draymond clutching up, but then obviously LeBron with the free throw to ice it. Yeah. I mean,
how long ago this was? Is the Pistons made the playoffs this year? How long ago this was?
Okay, let's show some love to the Pistons.
I'll give them their love. They were the 8 seed, and they got the honor of playing the Cavs and getting swept in the first round.
Yeah,
so
it was a rough one. Next one. So then this is when the infamous one of the biggest turning points in NBA history happens. KD signs with the Warriors after they go 73-9 to take on the Cavs, who have just defeated them. And this may be a little bit high considering it was only 5 games, but this was a B+ finals for me. All the games were really close besides Game 1. I remember Game 5, J.R. Smith had 30-something points. The Cavaliers were still able to score. It was like an offensive shootout every game. And, it only ended 5. But it was a really good series, and obviously everyone was watching. Could the Cavs, come back, or could the Warriors complete history? I believe they were 1 win away from going 16-0 the whole playoffs. So that was just a team of destiny. A little bit of controversy with the Zaza Pachulia thing with Kawhi Leonard the series before. Many people thought the Spurs could have competed.
They had
I
61 wins that year, and they were the 2 seed, which is kind of wild.
I ultimately think the Spurs would have lost in like 6, but it would have been a good series compared to
for sure.
The one
KD was just a different animal when he went to the Warriors.
Yeah, and Next one though for me, Kyrie leaves. This is a D tier. I mean, the only good part I remember was J.R. Smith choking like that shot, just not putting it up. And then if the Cavs won game 1, maybe the series goes different. But it was a sweep. And then after game 1, it felt like every game was a blowout. I was really, even like as a fan, I was really rooting for the Celtics with the rookie Jason Tatum to pull through in game 7 of the ECF in this one. But, LeBron got it done, went back to the finals. Everyone was ready for this. Or no one, I should say, was ready for this. It was a sweep pretty easily.
This was LeBron's God tier run where he just willed that team all the way.
It was weird. He traded everyone at the trade deadline. He traded away Dwayne Wade, all his friends, and then just said, "I'm just going to do this by myself." And he beat the Pacers in 7 games in round 1 with Victor Oladipo. Then beat the Celtics in 7 games. It was just a run of his own. I believe he swept the Raptors, the 1 seed Raptors.
LeBron.
Yeah, that's when the LeBronto memes came out. Very rough one, but obviously, as for a finals itself, this sucked. It was game 1 was the only good one. Next one, 2019. For me, this is an A- one. Obviously, the Kevin Durant injury sucks, but the Warriors were still looking to three-peat. They signed Boogie Cousins in this run. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors, a team of destiny, it feels like. And the series was back and forth, goes to a game 6. Klay Thompson gets injured. It comes down to the foul minutes, and then Kawhi Leonard and the team just pulls it out, and Kyle Lowry gets his ring. The Raptors finally get a ring. Nick Nurse arguably becomes the best coach in the league at this point. They defeat the dynasty, and for me, I thought this finals was still really good, even though it sucks with all the injuries because probably the Warriors probably do win, but
I was gonna say B. It was memorable just for the fact that the whole Kawhi run and everything.
B. I was thinking high B, low A. I thought it was just different. I just remember it being. I remember watching Game 6 coming down the final minutes. Steve Kerr, Steph Curry talking. Steph Curry was giving it his all out there, but basically it was a one-man show at the end with the Klay injury and all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say just the unfortunately the thing that sticks out to me the most for this finals, other than Kawhi carrying the team, is just the injuries. It was just
maybe it's more so just the Kawhi Leonard run because that 76er series, Game 7, coming back against a 60-win Milwaukee team down 2-0 to win 4 straight. It was just unreal. Unreal one of the best runs I've ever seen, and a lot of people, I even think rightfully so, crowned Kawhi the best player in the league after this run. Very, could do it all. One of the few players that could lock you up and then score over you at will. Yeah. Overall, though, very interesting run to say the least. The next one is the 2020 bubble finals between the Lakers and Heat. I would say overall this was all right. I know you're hating, and it sucks because it was COVID, but the game, I'm trying to focus on the game itself. Jimmy Butler was a dog this series. The Lakers defense was amazing. LeBron, prime AD. It was a back and forth battle, won 6 games. I just remember the infamous Jimmy Butler, game 5, him doing it all, putting his head down. That was one of the best performances ever in a finals game I've seen. I would go B. It was a solid finals, between 2 quality opponents. Miami was on a run that playoffs, but the Lakers were obviously the best team, best defense, and they showed why they were the best team that year.
Even pre-bubble, though, the Lakers team was so
good.
They
were the 1 seed for a reason. The Miami Heat were only a 5 seed, but they swept the Pacers in 4, even though the Pacers were the 4 seed. Then they destroyed the Bucks in 5 games, which everyone was surprised. Everyone, and I believe the Bucks were once again the 1 seed coming off their 61 season. And they beat the Celtics in a good 6-game series. But, they were a team of destiny, and then they made it all the way there. Butler just did his thing. Bam Adebayo, super young. This was Tyler Hero looking like, is he even worth trading for James Harden? He made himself that big of a name at that point. Overall, it was a very interesting series. Next one, 2021. I think this is one of the most.
This one's pretty high. I thought this was a good final.
I thought this was one of the most underrated finals. Chris Paul, the Phoenix Suns were great. Milwaukee coming off 2 disappointing playoff runs as a 1 seed. They go down 2-0 every game. You remember that game 5, Giannis chase down block. I believe it was on Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I mean, this one was high up there. Every game felt like a battle. I'd go low A. What do you think?
I would say low A too. Giannis went absolutely nuts. Didn't he drop?
Yeah, you're right. Closeout game, 50 points. And then he posted a video of him going to Chick-fil-A after to get 50-piece McNugget.
I mean, after this finals, I really thought Bucks were going to be, the new Warriors. I just thought they were going to dominate the East because of how Giannis looked and just, it's just been injuries and other teams building, which is really unfortunate because Giannis was so fun to watch in that finals and just that whole run.
Yeah. That run was electric. You remember the Game 7 with Kevin Durant, Bucks. That was a great series. Mm-hmm. They got rid of their Heat demons by sweeping them in the first round. And then I believe they beat the up-and-coming Hawks at the time. This one, the team thought Trae Young would be the next team in the ECF. But, things don't work out. But, yeah, that was a great run.
It was just a weird year because it was a rollover from COVID, so it wasn't a full year.
Yeah, but I remember Chris Paul and the Suns were top 2 seed. They swept Nikola Jokic and the MVP Nuggets in the second round. That was a great team. They missed their opportunity. Next one, 2022. Nick, your Celtics fall to the Warriors. Where do you have this one?
I would say B or A. I thought it was a decent finals. I'm just saying that because of how Curry played. Because
I go solid B. I think it was a B finals. Celtics went up 2-1 early, but it was really Steph Curry taking over and honestly in Andrew Wiggins' legacy series.
Yeah. He clamped Jason Tatum.
Yeah, he clamped Jason Tatum, was making some tough shots. Jordan Poole was hitting some threes. This was just it was a weird way to get to 6 games because most people had the Warriors winning in 6 games before the series started. But Celtics were a team of destiny, it felt like. That run they went on the second half of the year, sweeping the KD Nets when most people actually thought they were going to lose despite being a 2 seed. Then being the defending champion Bucks and then being the 1 seed Heat. That would have been one of the best finals runs if they were able to pull it off against the Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Also just another thing honestly, as a Celtics fan, the most memorable thing for this series was the first game when the Celtics went down. I can't remember they went down by a lot. And they ended up outscoring. I'm just looking at the box score now. They outscored the Warriors 40-16 in the fourth quarter to come back.
It was that much? Damn.
Yeah.
That was a great game. I kind of remember that now.
It was an Al Horford legacy game because he brought them back. But then just after that, the Warriors were kind of.
Well, what lost the Celtics the series, I'll remember this, was game 4. They were up 2-1 at home with a chance to go up 3-1. And then they were up with by 7 with 5 minutes to go, and they just couldn't clutch up. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry just kind of took over. Celtics offense just didn't do anything down the stretch, and then it was 2-2, and then the Warriors kind of never looked back.
Yeah.
This last one, most recent one, Heat Nuggets. This was just simply the Nuggets domination run. The Heat were a legacy runs an 8 seed. I think it goes C. They split the first 2. And then, the games were kind of close, but you always felt like the Nuggets had a grip on this finals. Game 5 came down the wire, but unfortunately, Jimmy Butler kind of ran out of gas. And the Nuggets were just clearly the best team in the league this season. They were the 1 seed, kind of coasting playoff Jamal Murray. Nikola Jokic solidified himself as the best player in the world. Crazy to think that this was already a year ago, but, that's how quickly time flies.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It's not a crazy.
Definitely one of the more disappointing finals we've had though recently.
Yeah, it's more of just to tip your cap to it was just the Nuggets domination run.
Yeah,
more so.
And I think Celtics Mavericks has potential to be high A tier. We'll see how it goes with Luka, Tatum, everything at stake. Maybe even S doesn't compete with that other Cavs Warriors series. We shall see. But let us know in the comments what you agree, disagree with. For the first time ever, I don't think we have an F tier finals.
Yeah.
But with that being said, yeah, just let us know. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And with that being said, we'll be here tomorrow to preview Game 1 of the Mavericks Celtics. Will finally be upon us. But with that being said, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.